Hello, business and community leaders in Utah. I'm Jim Grover, Managing Director of Economic Growth here at Utah Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. This is our 20th year of championing smart economic growth in Utah, and we continue to be recognized for our business-friendly environment and our quality of life. We desire to continue to be a great place to live, work, and play, and where economic opportunity thrives across the whole of the state of Utah. We are excited to provide a brief overview of resources that our office provides to all locations, both urban and rural. And we want to recognize that these are not all the programs that we offer. So for a full list and for us to help engage with your organization further, please visit business.utah.gov. There you'll be able to explore many options, including the Housing Transit Reinvestment Zone, the First Home Investment Zone, both exciting opportunities for local governments to have the initiatives to solve their local challenge. Before we discuss the outline of today's presentation, here at the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity, we champion Governor Cox's commitment to create opportunity for all Utahns by utilizing federal and state resources, as well as private sector partnerships, to support Utah entrepreneurs and businesses, recruit and retrain companies, and collaborate with industries, regions, and communities to cultivate a diverse and prosperous economy. We'll first hear from Pete Codella, Managing Director of Business Services. He and his team will assist us as we walk through these valuable services that can help a full spectrum of companies, from those that are just starting up to companies ready to explore new growth opportunities by selling goods or services to the federal government. I'll then return to introduce members of my team, and we'll begin by explaining how we provide state grant resources to rural local government, support their economic development needs, and revitalize and grow opportunities that are important to them. Then we'll discuss specific grants and incentives, both within our office, and highlight a few offerings with other state partners like the Inland Port Authority. Finally, we'll turn the presentation back to Pete to wrap up and provide final thoughts. So without further ado, I'll turn the presentation over to Pete Codella. Pete, thanks.
Thanks, Jim. I'm Pete Codella, Managing Director of Business Services in the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. Our team has 7 initiatives, as well as the office's marketing and communications team. The Business Services team is a connector and a resource provider that's aligned with GOEO's broader organizational vision of developing a world-class economy. Our mission is to foster economic prosperity for all Utahns by leveraging our collaborative partnerships, exceptional communication, and responsiveness to provide accessible and reliable resources to Utah small business owners and essential community partners. Our initiatives include APEX, that's Utah's version of the Federal Department of Defense program, and you will hear from Chuck Spence, Utah's APEX Accelerator Director, here in a minute. Also, our Startup State Initiative is Tim Cooley. He's the state's Director of Entrepreneurship, and he'll share information about that initiative. Upstart is another business services initiative that provides early education and online curriculum for Utah's 4-year-olds. I guess you could say we're getting a head start on workforce development in the state of Utah. The Utah Center for Global Talent provides assistance to Utah businesses to access trained professionals from other countries. It also manages the state's New Americans Task Force in partnership with the Center for Economic Opportunity and Belonging. The Utah Innovation Center helps Utah companies claim federal, non-dilutive research and development funding. This team is moving to the Utah System of Higher Education in July 2025. The Utah Office of Regulatory Relief provides a regulatory sandbox that temporarily allows you to bypass state laws and test innovative products and services. And finally, our Utah Small Business Credit Initiative is a $69 million U.S. Treasury program that provides capital to Utah small businesses through 2 different loan programs. In April 2025, USBCI received its second tranche of funding from the Treasury, and small businesses can access those loans through lending partners that are listed on the USBCI webpage. Now I'll hand the presentation over to Tim to talk about the Startup State Initiative.
Hi, my name's Tim Cooley. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship for the state of Utah. I get the honor and privilege of running the Startup State Initiative. We really have four objectives that we're really trying to align ourselves with as we build out the Startup State Initiative. And the first one has to do with promotion and marketing. As many are aware, Utah gets tons of accolades about entrepreneurship, and we want to make sure that we're still highlighting really successful companies, up and coming companies, especially those in rural, and giving them an opportunity to continue to build and promote Utah as the place to start a business. The second thing that we're doing is, or that we've done, is gathered the resources all across the state that go through any stage of business from idea all the way through exit from all 29 counties. We're currently sitting at over 200 resources that are available for entrepreneurs who the majority don't even know exist. So excited to see where that takes us. With that, we also have a ton of other resources to help entrepreneurs navigate all the complexities from ideation and business licensing and all the other steps, marketing and sales that are required for an entrepreneur to be successful through a really simple 19-step process that are littered with resources throughout the state. So that's another great resource that exists. We've also built some other cool resources to help encourage people through the ideation process. We launched a product called Get Started, which gives entrepreneurs and early idea people up to $500 to try their business or to try moving their business one milestone forward. And we're seeing a lot of great success and traction in that so far. The third area that we're focused on is providing guidance on policy and regulation. Oftentimes there might be some unintended consequences when it comes to legislative work, and we want to make sure that, we're doing right by these businesses that are helping to build the ecosystem for their communities. And the fourth area, and this one's really, really important to me, is making sure that we stabilize and enhance the startup ecosystem community. It's incredibly expensive to continue to develop the community, as often it's mostly giving back, and there's very little return of an investment for the majority of the community members. And so if we can be a small part in that and to stabilizing it so that every Utah, no matter which county they live in, has a place to go to be educated or to find networks that align with who they are, what industries they're involved in, whatever their business is. We want to make sure that those organizations stick around for the long haul.
Thanks, Tim, and greetings. My name is Chuck Spence, and I am the director of the Apex Accelerator program within the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. Apex Accelerator is a government contracting assistance program created to support Utah businesses who want to expand their market into the public sector. So, for example, let's say that you are a small business firm that owns a construction company, and you hear from a colleague that Hill Air Force Base will be repaving their aircraft runways, and that's right down your wheelhouse. But you don't know where to start, who to contact, or what the next steps are. That's where Apex Accelerator comes in. Our regional managers throughout the state will help you obtain the necessary registrations, find the bid opportunities, develop a strong capability statement, create a marketing strategy, and provide general one-on-one consulting. So if you have a product or service that a government agency needs, the Apex Accelerator program is here to connect you to that agency. Also, if you are working on innovative technology, that's say in the aerospace, defense, biomedical, or energy industries, there are procurement processes that are designed to expedite that sometimes very lengthy contracting process. And Apex Accelerator may be able to help you with that endeavor. So please contact us at business.utah.gov/apex. And let me repeat that. business.utah.gov/apex, APEX. We look forward to hearing from you, and thank you. Jim, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. Jim Grover here. I'd like to talk to a few of the initiatives that we have here in economic growth and introduce some members of the team. First, we'll hear from James Dixon. He's the Director of Community Grants. We will talk through what the Rural County Grant is, which is a grant that's designed to empower rural county governments to manage their own unique economic development opportunities. We'll then have a chance to listen to how Rural Community Opportunity Grants, which is a competitive grant, can help, again, local governments with their business recruitment, development, workforce training, and infrastructure needs. We'll then turn it over to Colette Cox, who is the Director of the Center of Rural Development. She'll be talking about how she and her team supports local governments and businesses, as well as a very unique program called the Rural Employment Development Incentive, which is basically looking for high-paid jobs and offering a unique amount of opportunity and funding for companies that are in growth mode. Finally, we'll be turning the time over to Lance Soph, Senior Business Development Director. We'll be talking about tax incentives, specifically the Economic Development Tax Increment Financing Program, also known as the EDTIF, and the modification to that, which is for rural Utah, called the REDTIF. We'll also talk about the Inland Port Authority partnerships that we have, which will include some opportunities on the local property tax side, as well as those locations that are important to Utah. We'll talk about statewide tools and software that we have current and are developing, as well as some grants that we're going to have on business.utah.gov/grants. So without further ado, James.
Hello, my name is James Dixon. I'm with the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity, and I am the Director of Community Grants. Today, I'd like to present to you a part of our program and part of our mission, which is to service 24 rural counties across the state of Utah. We have 29 counties in the state of Utah. 24 of them are designated by their classification as rural. Part of our incentives and grants service the economic development needs of our rural communities. And in particular, we like to concentrate on these three categories: the business recruitment, development, and expansion, workforce training and development, and infrastructure, industrial building development, and capital facilities improvements for business development. Our concentration, obviously, is for business growth and opportunities for growth across the state, in particular, the rural counties. A program that we call the Rural Opportunity Program. And underneath the umbrella of the Rural Opportunity Program, we have three grants, three funding opportunities that service and give opportunity to our rural communities, in particular, our rural counties. And then one grant that is direct to business. So as an introduction to these three funding opportunities, we have the Rural County Grant. The Rural County Grant is a $200,000 annual grant for each rural county government supporting economic development planning projects and activities. The second is also direct to governments. In this case, we expand a little bit broader beyond just the counties and also give opportunities for grants for our communities, our smaller rural communities. This is a competitive grant we call the Rural Communities Opportunity Grant, and it awards up to $600,000 for qualified rural communities that support their unique rural economic development projects. Also, under the Rural Opportunity Program, we have the third grant, which is called the Rural Employment Development Incentive. This grant is a grant direct to business. So we've got two offerings, the Rural County Grant and the Rural Communities Opportunity Grant, that are delivered to governments. But this third one, the Rural Employment Development Incentive, is direct to business. This is for companies that create new high-paying jobs, and they could be remote jobs, online, or satellite hubs, or actually physically located within the qualified rural communities, which includes small towns. And this is an incentive up to $6,000 for each new position that is created and retained in those rural areas. We work hand in hand with the Center for Rural Development. And we'll turn the time over to Colette Cox, who represents the Center for Rural Development and their 5 area outreach managers. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about our grants and incentives, we invite you to visit business.utah.gov/grants, where you'll find the Rural Opportunity Program grants, but also many other funding opportunities. And if you have any inquiries for us, please contact us at econgrants@utah.gov. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, for that great GOEO grants overview. Hello, everyone. My name is Colette Cox, and I'm the Director over the Center for Rural Development at the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity. Here at the Center for Rural Development, our team manages state programs that promote business success and rural economic growth. Some of our activities include awarding tax credits for new jobs paying at or above average county wages, offering grants to support economic development-related infrastructure, workforce development programs, and business retention, expansion, and recruitment efforts. And we offer short-term and long-term rural economic development planning. I would like to introduce you to our Center for Rural Development outreach managers that serve the 24 rural counties in the state. Sherry Stevens is located in our northern region. Lori Haslam serves our northeastern counties. Forrest Turner operates in central Utah and Tooele. Deborah McKee conducts outreach in the southeastern region, and I cover the southwest corner of the state. Our GOEO team also includes August Granith, a program specialist that facilitates the Rural Blueprint Economic Planning Program. Our skilled outreach team supports the economic development goals and strategies of rural counties and communities who receive consultations from the outreach managers and grant administrators, and these consultations include grant writing tips and requirement instructions, project compatibility and readiness review, scope of work draft review, budget and matching funds advice, and post-award reporting and compliance instruction. The Center for Rural Development fosters healthy and diverse rural economies by connecting businesses and communities with other rural partners and introducing them to state and federal programs and funding resources. Now I'd like to turn the time over to Lance Sove so you can learn more about our state's targeted industries.
Thanks, Colette. Lance Sove here. I am the Senior Business Development Director of the Business Recruitment and Expansion Team. Excited to tell you about my team and what we do and how we try to improve Utah's economic outlook. We have 5 targeted industries. It's really important that we start with that there's an understanding of who we are as a state. We have hired a third party to analyze our economy and really understand who we are, not what we want to be, but who we are. That there were a myriad of different data points that they pulled. 5 years of past GDP, projected 5 years of GDP, multiplier effect of jobs created in industries here in our state, and life science, information technology, aerospace and defense, advanced manufacturing, and finance and fintech are the industries that rose to the top that really are it's the ecosystems that run our economic engine. So we concentrate on those, on our growth, on what we try to do on a daily basis of what we try to support. We are excited about all of our industries here in Utah, but with our time, we need to focus on those that make the biggest impact. So these are the 5 targeted industries that get most of our time. Moving on to some of the resources that we have. Our biggest resource that I just want to jump into right from the start is our Economic Development Tax Increment Financing tool called the EDTIF. So this is the tool that we have to incentivize companies from out of state to come to Utah. This is a post-performance tax rebate, but just an understanding that we are even more excited to incentivize companies that are already here in Utah. 60% of our incentives go to companies that are growing within Utah, and it is our first priority. We try to take care of those companies that are growing and making a big impact here in Utah. But just an understanding of what the EDTIF is, again, a post-performance tax incentive program. that is a refund of sales, corporate, and withholding taxes that you pay to the state, that we will rebate back to you up to 30% for up to 20 years. Those are the max that we're able to offer. But if you are in urban Utah, you do need to be within one of those targeted industries. And with that, we can help incentivize and assist you and your company with expansion here in Utah. And again, some details here on the slide. It's about a 3-month process. It does require 110% of the average county wage, whatever county you decide to land in, and it reduces your taxes with that post-performance tax incentive. Our second tool is for rural Utah, the Rural Economic Development Tax Increment Financing, called the EDTIF. And this removes a few of the requirements from the EDTIF. Number one, it does not have a requirement for a company to be inside of one of our targeted industries, which is really important to understand that. And there isn't the 110% requirement drops down to 100% of the average county wage. So the job does need to pay at least 100% of the average county wage. And this improves what we can give to 50% of the new state taxes for up to 20 years. So a very valuable program for those looking to establish themselves or grow outside of what we call the Wasatch Front, that Utah, Salt Lake, Davis, and Weber County area. It's a great tool to help our rural counties. So the EDTIF and REDTIF has been in place for about 20 years. And in that 20 years, our 20-year projections that came from all of our activity inside the REDTIF and EDTIF, we have helped incentivize over 300 companies, over $34 billion in investments, creeping up on 150,000 high-paying jobs, with $7 billion in new state tax revenue and $93 billion in new wages. It's been an incredibly successful program, and one we're really excited about utilizing for continued growth here in Utah. Some notable EDTIF and REDTIF projects for our rural Utah, Owens Corning and Lakeshore, huge wins for some of our rural communities with great jobs being placed in those areas. Northrop Grumman and Williams International are huge. They're great employers, anchor employers in some of our urban areas up north in the northern Wasatch Front. And again, life science being so vital to our community. Edwards Life Sciences, Campbell Scientific, Cytiva, Denali, great innovations. We also have homegrown companies that has received the EDTIF and REDTIF for in the life sciences. And again, our technology sector is strong with Silicon Slopes, LiveView Technologies, Pattern, Strider, so many companies that we are continually working with to help them grow and here in Utah. The finance section is something that the finance sector is something that we have been focusing on highly in the fintech realm of the ecosystem. So Utah being a hub of fintech, we have given special attention to that piece of the ecosystem. Where we have created a Governor's FinTech Advisory Council and are working very closely with that sector to help that grow. And then again, our advanced manufacturing, Hexcel being one of a fantastic win. They are the raw ingredients to most of what happens here with carbon fiber in Utah. So really excited about what we're building around. Texas Instruments being our largest investment, $11 billion. Happening in 2023 is definitely one to highlight. Also, something that we're really excited about and about making more chips in the United States. So it's a huge focus right now and will be for the foreseeable future. And we're a part of that here in Utah. I also want to talk about, we have a lot of partners. I'm just going to focus on one right now, just because of the ability to stack incentives. So we have the Inland Port Authority. They have 12 sites that have been designated as of now, and it's growing. But these sites are, as you can see, located all across Utah from top to bottom. They have the ability to offer incentives also, and they are stackable. That's what's really important for companies to understand is you don't have to choose one or the other. These are stackable from creating a public infrastructure district. They have an authority infrastructure bank. They have incentives, again, that are stackable, and tax differential that is stackable, just like our EDTIF and REDTIF. So this is a partner that we're really excited about bringing in on quite a few of our projects, just because this is master planning what's coming in and out of Utah. We're trying to get items off the road, so we're working. We have great relationships with Union Pacific, and we have great and Savage and other anybody who does rail. We have a great relationship with them, and we're working on getting items off the road and in and out of Utah as cheap as possible and as quickly as possible. So this is the master plan of Utah on the manufacturing front. So we're always excited to help any company that's interested in Utah, whether you're here in Utah or looking at Utah as a potential landing spot. Please feel free to contact us for any more information or any assistance we can provide. And I'm going to pass this back over to Pete Codella.
Thanks, Lance. We hope that this brief overview helps you understand how the Utah Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity can help you and how we shepherd and foster economic development in a state that U.S. News and World Report has twice named the best state in America. We encourage you to follow us on social media at Business Utah. Subscribe to our podcast, which I host. It's called Business Elevated, and you can get it wherever you get your podcasts. And please email us at business@utah.gov with any comments, feedback, or questions. Thank you.